Hello everyone, it's Brian here to review Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 Episode 7 Still Standing. So the episode starts out with Victor and Charlie. After they crash, they get surrounded by walkers, but they're able to escape from them and make a barrier with a tarp from the beer air balloon. And eventually they're able to hold out and call on their walkie-talkie for Morgan for help. So after that, we pick up with Alicia, and she decides to go after the kids, and she is killing the walker barrier with her signature weapon, and eventually she runs into Dylan, who decides to lead her back to the kids' camp where they're all holed out. And I'm glad that Dylan's one of the few kid characters this season. In fact, all this season that I kind of find interesting. He's not like his siblings, and I'm glad about that. So anyway, they take Alicia back to the camp, and we get Alicia versus Annie, kind of her trying to save a bunch of kids at the camp and trying to convince Annie that they need to go with them to the plane. Annie is not budging, and I really don't like Annie. She's so annoying. She speaks for her brothers, for a whole group, and I'm tired of it. It just doesn't really. She's not interesting. She's not. She needs to grow up and decide what's best for her group. That staying out here and getting killed is not the best option. It just isn't. There's no way to live. And eventually we pick up with John and Dwight, and John's about to give Dwight the note that Sherry left that says she doesn't want to be found by him. She's done with it. And John decides not to give it to Dwight, but he's eventually going to give him to him later. But I felt like Dwight should. I mean, Dwight was happy, but I honestly felt like John should have given him the note then and there. But it's already he gave him later. So the next scene I really don't like, and it's Annie and Max fixing up more walker barriers, and she said that Alicia is like messed up or something, and I cannot believe this hypocrite. I honestly am starting to despise Annie because she is making barriers, endangering her brothers, her group, with these stupid walker barriers, and she's putting them all in danger. They can get infected, they can get bit, and one of them gets loose and chases her and Max all the way back to the compound, a herd. They make a herd surrounding themselves, and they almost get killed, leading them back to the camp. And I honestly am surprised it took this long. I really do not like Annie and Max, but especially Annie. I just do not like her character at all. So eventually we pick up with Morgan after he actually found a hazmat suit and saved Victor and Charlie, and they got a propeller. And I like this part. And he's eventually talking to Grace about getting the plane working and trying to convince her to go with him, that she can still be saved. Grace is a lot like Morgan. I don't know if they're going to have a relationship or something. She might be dying, but whatever the case, he's trying to convince Grace, and he eventually decides to go to her while they go back. So we then pick up with June and Althea, and they talk about when she disappeared. But I don't really understand. She says she wants June to never tell anyone, but she doesn't tell her about the helicopter. No, she said talk to her about the helicopter and the woman, but she doesn't mention the CRM group, how advanced they are, how deadly they are, none of that. So I wish we could have gotten more with that. June didn't know anything about this secret group, so I wish she knew more about that. And eventually we get to the worst part of the episode, I think, and Alicia gets infected, not bit, but she gets infected with a radiation walker, and she might die of radiation poisoning or something. And I honestly hope that she does not get killed off. I will I will stop watching Fear the Walking Dead entirely if Alicia dies. She is the best character, and she is the only Clark left, and the only reason I watch this show anymore. Yes, there's Morgan and Dwight, but you cannot kill off all the characters from season one. There is just no way you can have a show like that, and I honestly hope she doesn't die. There's some way to save her. I don't know how there is, but I really hope there's a way to save Alicia because she is my favorite character in this franchise. So then we pick up with John and Dwight, and John gives him the note. Dwight's upset, and he eventually decides that he's going to take John back to June. That he's going to do something good still, even if he can't find Sherry. I'm so glad Dwight learned this. Sherry is dead. I mean, they didn't say Sherry is dead, but I believe that she is. She is just not worth it. There are walkers, nuclear power plants going off, and dangerous people, and radiation walkers, and it's just not worth it. Sherry is not worth all this trouble. So then we eventually get Morgan and Alicia talking, and Alicia washes the radiation walker blood off her and says she's fine. And Morgan and Grace go to find her, And honestly, I really hope Alicia does not die. I'm so worried. Grace even mentioned something about even Morgan possibly being affected after killing some radiation walkers, and I hope there's some way to save both of them. I really hope that none of them die this season, neither of them die. So then they hear the alarms going off, and the nuclear power plant is going counting down. It is reaching the melting point. It is going to blow, I believe, and that is not good. I did like the cliffhanger. That is very scary. I don't know how far the radiation plant can go when it melts down, but that is scary. They only have a certain amount of time left, probably only a few hours left before it goes nuclear, and that is scary. But like I said, I really hope Alicia does not die. I really think Fear can be great, but it better not kill off Alicia or Morgan, but especially Alicia. And if they do, I will stop watching Fear the Walking Dead. So that's it for this episode. See you all next time. Bye.